Hello and welcome to day 27 of 73. And today I wanted to talk about the currency of attention. Now, I struggle, well, I won't say struggle, but I find myself drifting a lot when I'm in a conversation or in a situation where I'm asked to be fully present. It's something that I'm working towards in my own self, but it is important that I do acknowledge that it is work. And unless it is mentally stimulating or if it is something that I have a vested interest in, I have to make sure that I am paying as much attention as possible in order to not only understand, but to engage in a productive way. And it's something that I was thinking about after the video that I made yesterday following Freedom Day about how much of that control I do have and why it is so important to show up in those ways when one is embarking on such journeys as wanting to improve oneself or wanting to establish a completely different way of living or wanting to make sure there is a shift tangible enough that it lasts. And I think that in the same way that I've talked before about putting one brick at a time into the wall and being able to build a building or taking one step at a time or living in the present moment or meditation as a muscle, everything boils down to that understanding that all you ever have to pay as a currency is your attention. It is your mental presence and focus in a plethora of things that are essentially going to be in your reality as every day passes. Now, in that understanding and understanding how valuable that material is, I've, while thinking back, been low key mad at the fact that my attention is both something so valuable and precious, but then at the same time, I am so willing to give it up or to point it towards things that don't necessarily build me up in the same way, whether it is drinking or whether it is scrolling or doing something that doesn't immediately feed into the value system, and how cheaply I'm giving that away. And in the it's almost the same coin but two sides, where I understand how important it is for me to keep that focus and attention onto the things that are going to ultimately help me. But then after I record a video or post something that I think is quite meaningful, I then spend an unnatural amount of time scrolling things that are quite meaningless in the grander scheme of things. Yes, they might make me laugh or might help me forget, or even going beyond might help me ignore the actual work that I need to do, but that's all from the same building blocks essentially. And I I'm the one that chooses that. I'm the one that puts them in of the same category of building, the same category of material that I would need to continue on. And it might be a stretch, it might not be, but it's, I'd say, a frustration when realizing that and when understanding that the same energy and the same currency that I've put towards wanting to improve, which is the time mentally that I'm putting towards something, can also be the unraveling or the detriment of the same vision in and of itself. And so understanding the currency of attention is, I actually don't know how to feel about that, but it is a realization that I've had most recently. And how much freedom we do have is always up to us. And being able to make that decision is tiresome, but I think very important in the end. Thank you for your time.